Hello, this is George Freitas, and this is my first broadcast. So, welcome, listeners. Um, I've never done a broadcast before, so I'm excited, as if you should be excited too, and help me get a jump start. So, what I'm going to talk about is the new Star Wars movies that are coming out. People love them. People are liking them. Some people aren't. I'm one of those that are on the like it side because there's going to be new stuff, new casts, and we're going to have the original cast like Han Solo, Luke, and Leia that are going to be in it, which are Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher. And then Chewbacca is back also. The person who played Chewbacca is back, which is Peter Mayhem. And then Kenny Baker and Anthony Daniels are coming back. So as C-3PO and R2-D2, who doesn't like them? So, and then I don't know who's going to be the new villain in this one. I don't know. I hope it's a good villain, and personally, I hope Boba Fett makes an appearance. You know, hope he gets out of the Scarlet pit and just goes total badass. So I like Boba Fett, so not gonna lie. But a little history on what happened in the past couple of years is that as of October, as of October 2012, George Lucas and Disney had a little meeting, and George Lucas and Disney are now together because Disney bought out George Lucas's Star Wars franchise and whatever else was there too, like probably I think Indiana Jones and whatever else there was in there. So, I mean, it's a big jump from George Lucas to Disney because Disney's big. I mean, big with because the Disney also has like Marvel too, which they produced a lot of good Marvel stuff like Captain America and the new Captain America movie, which by the way I saw, and it was awesome. And like the Avengers and all those good stuff. So I'm hoping that these new Star Wars movies are going to be good, but I want it to be great because J.J. Abrams is directing the new Star Wars movies, and I have to give it to him. He's a good director. I've seen the new Star Trek movies. Those are prime. The first Star Trek movie was good. Star Trek Into Darkness was better than the one that he directed. So I hope he really steps up his game, man. Um, but just last week, though, I don't know if you heard, but you probably did. I'm just kind of giving a little history. So last Tuesday, it was announced that the cast is already made. So, like, you got Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and whoever else I said, Peter Mayhem, Anthony Daniels, and Kenny Baker, which I already said are going to be in the new Star Wars along with new cast. I don't know the new cast yet because I've never heard of them. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do. So, hey, we got to give them a shot cuz the new cast and the old cast are going to be, forming good. So, hopefully we get a good reaction and be in awe from and blown away. So hey, we got to give them a shot. But and then before the cast announcement, I've heard from like Facebook and all the other resources is that the movies that the Star Wars Episode 7 is going to be in December. It's going to be on December 18th of 2015. So we already got that information already down. But I wonder what the new title is going to be. Like, you know how there was Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, and The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. So I wonder what's going to be the new title of it, like Star Wars Episode 7, The New Hope, or not The New Hope, but like Journey of the Skywalkers, or Solos, or Return of Boba Fett, or Darth Vader's Revenge, or whoever else. But hey, you gotta. They're probably gonna just kind of, jumble around what the new Star Wars title is gonna be. So hopefully it's good, because I gotta get that eye puller in me. Just go see it and be like, whoa, that's a really good title name. And I hope the poster for it is gonna be good and perfect, because you gotta really pull the audience in to see it. And so hey, who knows? So that, and in my opinion, I think it will help the Star Wars franchise get popular, because Star Wars has been around for forever, and from the old Star Wars and from the original trilogy to the new ones, the prequels. I mean, the prequels were good. Don't get me wrong. Everybody doesn't really care for them. I mean, you have to admit there was some pretty good, characters and good story to it. It explains how Anakin became Darth Vader. You have to, Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, excellent job as Obi-Wan. He really portrayed the young Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so, hey. And in Episode 3, he kind of really turned the notch with it. Like, he went from like being the young Padawan to Jedi Knight to Jedi Master, and he really bridged that gap between him and Alec Guinness. I mean, that's a pretty big task to tackle down, and he really had that perfectly buckled in and all that good stuff. I mean, Hayden Christensen, he's an alright actor, but his emotions without lines, they were perfect. Jar Jar Binks, I know everybody doesn't really care for Jar Jar Binks. I don't either. So, I hope he's not in the new ones. because that would honestly be bad for the trilogy. Um, and then I just hope that you know, to have a good reaction, good movies from the new ones, and just be, total amazed, I should say. Um, so I'm probably gonna go see them because it's Star Wars. So I mean, good storyline, and for the longest time though, I was never a fan of the new Clone Wars, the Star Wars Clone Wars, the what is it, the 3D animation. I was always a fan of the cartoon mini series. Those were good until I really sat down and watched it because I've seen the movie once in the theaters and I'm like, it wasn't as good until I rewatched it again and I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And then I saw, what is it, the show, and I was like, huh, this is pretty good because some of the episodes are like, they don't really need to have like those kind of episodes. Like one of them has Jar Jar Binks in it. Why? Why have an episode with Jar Jar Binks in it? And then there were other episodes like the mini side clips in it, like the whole Ahsoka Tano being a prisoner and all that. That was a good little series in it, in the episode within that season. It was like, whoa. And then the Jedi with the 4 arms with the double lightsaber, that was pretty good. Um, and they had it was a good storyline from the beginning. Um, but I hope they have another season because I know they've they've only released the 6th season on Netflix. So what I did was I watched seasons 1 through 6, and I didn't go out of order. I watched it all the way through, episode by episode, and it was pretty good. But back to the original, or back to the new Star Wars movies. Yeah, J.J. Abrams will really take these Star Wars movies all the way. I mean, all the way, because I've heard that he's gonna. I've heard that he's gonna, bring back like the old Star Wars with like the puppets and like people in costumes and have a real like home home feel to it, as like in episodes 4, 5, and 6. And you got to be traditional sometimes. That's my thing. Out with the old, in with the new. I mean, but my thing is bring back the oldies sometimes instead of like the CGI stuff. I mean, it's good that we have computers and stuff, but sometimes it's good to like bring back the old stuff because it really, really brings audiences' attention that way. So sorry about that long pause. I just drank a cup of water. But yeah. So hey, we'll have to find out on how the Star Wars movies go. So fingers crossed, they're pretty good. Knowing J.J. Abrams, he knows how to really bring those movies to life, like as he did with the Star Trek movies. So, I mean, he's still making movies. He's in his prime, so hopefully these Star Wars movies will be a good experience for him. So, and I feel like for a director, you gotta have fun also and bring the audiences to come see it. And he really does a good job at that. So, keep it up, J.J. Abrams. Do keep up the good work. So, hey. So, I mean, some of these are pretty good ideas. Like, I think you should, explain how some of the characters' origins are, or have, the original three be tied in with the new ones and showing the new ones how to use a lightsaber, or building your own lightsaber in the movies. Um, so, hey, what can you do? What else is there? I hope Ewan McGregor comes back as Obi-Wan though. I hope he comes in there in like in episode 8 or 9 at least, and be in ghost form, because that would be really really neat. Or have Yoda in a ghost form, and or have Anakin be in ghost form, but make sure like it's a really good one, not like how George Lucas, you know, changed Anakin at the end of episode 6 from the old Anakin to like the young prequel Anakin. So, I mean, it's okay to have the young one in these ones and just kind of have them make them look older, but that should, don't go overboard with whole I'm gonna make him look young. So just do a good job, pretty much. Um, but hey, you got a lot of good ideas thrown at you from like your workers and producers and casts. So hey, just work good, do good work. So hey, um, but any Hoosier douchers, you should. But hey, all the good movies has to do with good storyline. We, I mean, with the prequels, there was some good storyline to it, but some of the stuff doesn't need to be there. Also, like all the Jar Jar Binks scenes in Episode 1, and all those kind of stuff. And but hey, there was less Jar Jar Binks, I've noticed, and what I've heard and seen on YouTube. Um, but hey, I just make sure you stick it to the original trilogy and continue from those. So you just have to bust your balls and make it fun and enjoyable. Bring the old Star Wars fans and the new Star Wars fans together and be like, hey, it's okay. You're really one of us now. So yeah, because I've seen both of them, and the old ones were the classics, like the VHS. I'm a fan of the VHS Star Wars, so those were good to me, and I was good to them. They were good to me. So, I got the DVD release of them back in 2004, and I've noticed in some of the scenes they changed some scenes. I mean, like, it's okay to slightly throw in some new stuff, but don't make it like over dramatic. So hey, like the whole Anakin change and all those. So hey, I will let you guys go. Hope you liked this first broadcast, and hopefully I get to come back and do another one on a different topic. So I'll see you later. Goodbye. Signing off.